What's up guys? Welcome to another video. I'm gonna show you a little change I did to my rendering API in my engine. I don't know, it's not a big thing, I just wanted to show it to you. So let's go to workspace and let's just generate a new project from my game engine. So I'm gonna use the CEG command line tool that I wrote that just generates a new game template for you. So I'm just gonna call it, let's call it ABC, I don't care. Okay, let's see here. I actually think we have some issues in here. So, okay, so it generated a project with the old sort of rendering API here. This is not how you do it anymore for drawing lines, for example. I'm going to show you what I did. So let's actually remove this here in the actor draw. Let's go to the main scene and let's just see if it compiles. Yeah, it compiles. So if we run it, we're just getting a black screen right now. But what I did basically is, let's just first remove this add actor thing. We're not going to have an actor. However, we are going to have a draw function for the scene. So let's just call it main scene draw. Scene t scene. And let's do scene draw is equal to main scene draw. Okay, so for example, let's say we want to draw a colored quad. Earlier, what you had to do was draw quad, and you'd have to pass in a draw program. So you'd have to do a scene. Well, you still need to do this scene draw program color, I think it's called. And then you'd actually have to specify like the width, height, RGBA. So it would have a lot of arguments. And then I added another function called draw quad rotated, because I also wanted to be able to draw rotated quads, but I didn't want the programmer to have to type in I didn't want a single function for this, because I didn't want the programmer to have to type in a rotation value if the programmer didn't want to rotate. So in this case, you would also have a rotation value like I don't know, 90 degrees or something. But that's kind of ugly. I didn't want to have two different methods for this, and I didn't want to have one humongous method that just took in like 1,000 arguments. So I did something else instead. I created a struct called draw options that every draw function now uses. So every function in my engine now that it begins with draw, every function that is supposed to draw something takes in this this draw option struct instead. So what we do is include cengine draw options.age, and then you would just create these options on a stack. So you would do draw options t options is equal to draw options in it, and then you'd pass that in here. So you do options, and now if we compile, it didn't draw, or it didn't work because I spelled this one wrong. Whoops. It's still not going to draw anything, okay, because I haven't given the options anything. So what we can do here is options.x is equal to 0, options.y is equal to 0. So let's just draw a quad at the top left corner. Options.width is equal to, let's make it 128. Height is equal to 128. And then we could do options.r. Let's make a red square. Options.g is equal to 0. Options.b is equal to 0. And there you go. So that's very simple. And now if I wanted to rotate it, I could just do options dot. So you would rotate it on the z-axis 90. I'm actually not sure that it's going to work with quads. I know I made it work for textures though. Let's just see if it works. Something's wrong. What if we do 10? Okay, it works. It just wasn't rotated around the center. But to do that, let's say we want to rotate 90 degrees and we want to have it rotated by the center. Then we could do options dot offset x is equal to options dot width divided by 2, and then we'd have the y-axis height divided by 2. And of course, if we rotate it 90 degrees, we're not really going to see anything. Let's do 30. There we go. So now every draw method takes in this kind of option struct, and it just allows for more flexibility basically. And also I don't have to define functions with a big list of arguments. I can just pass in this. And so basically every draw method just takes in this option struct and it reads the data from that option struct and draws things accordingly. And another cool thing about this is, let's say I wanted to draw a line. I could just do scene, draw, program, color. I can actually reuse these options. Now we're probably not going to get anything good out of doing that though. No, not really. But what I could do is, let's reset the offsets. And let's also reset the rotation. And let's do options dot start x is equal to 0. Options dot start x dot y 0. Options dot end x is equal to 200. Options dot end y is equal to 200. Okay, it's actually, I think it's called start x. No, actually, it's just x. Sorry. Okay, so the x is still 0. I think we're gonna see something from doing that. Yeah, so now we can see the line there. So basically, I can just reuse these options. So that's pretty cool. I think we can do something like this as well. Location, get time. Let's do times, I don't know. So now you can see it sort of animates and rotates like that. It kind of wobbles a little bit. So anyways, I just wanted to show you that I changed the draw call API basically. Now if we go to my engine, we can actually see this. If I go to the draw functions, we can see that every draw function now takes in these draw options. And here's where it gets a bit ugly, I guess. The draw options is just a huge struct of all the possible things you want to draw. So it even has like text and font path and things for if you want to draw text. Been thinking about using unions for this instead, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a lot easier to work with these draw functions now. Let's see if we can draw some text as well, just for the goofs and giggles. Benzene. Okay, let's say we want to draw some text. So we might as well create some new options. Just do draw options T, text options, draw options, text options. Let's draw it at 200. Text options.y is equal to 200. And we can do text options.r. Let's make a blue color. $255. Let's do text options dot font size. Let's make it I don't know, 24. Text options. Oops. Dot font path is equal to user share fonts true type. I'm just gonna select some random font here, and it should be a double quote. And then we'll also want to have text options.text is equal to hello YouTube. And then we can just do draw text scene draw program text text options. Draw options in it. We're getting an error here. Should be an equal sign there. And I think font size should be like that. I know it's a bit inconsistent at the moment. There we go. Hello YouTube. So yeah, it's a lot easier to work with the Draw API now. And I just wanted to show you this. It's pretty cool. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.